last night, because the time is really, different in Brazil. So last night, there was this live prayer. I even posted in our Facebook. I hope you watched. But all the bishops, all the pastors, they agreed in one faith to bless us. If you sent your prayer request, if you know you did your part, you sacrifice something that God told you to do, and you write a request that will change your life, your blessing is coming. Yeah. Do you believe this? Yeah. Amen. That's it. Now, look at what he did. Because Bishop Macedo called the pastors of the country to climb the altar and to pray there. He did more than this. Pastor Alvaro said to us last week that he would place his hands on the altar to bless us. Now, he made a video, and he wants you to see this video. Amen? Is it ready there, assistant? Let us show them.
Hello everybody from Asia. I'm here with Pastor Anderson, Pastor Alex, and also Pastor Eduardo. We are in front of Solomon's temple. We have just finished our prayer. We were together on the altar of the temple, where we laid our hands on the floor of the altar, and we determined that your life will never be the same again. And when we come back, we are going to be laying both of our hands on the top of your head, to determine that not only your family, but also your love life, your finances, all the areas of your life may be blessed. So be sure, all of you who are now in Malaysia, also those who are in Singapore and India, also in Macau, Indonesia, also in Philippines, in all the countries in Asia, we are coming back to bless all of you. Stay in faith. God bless you.
Amen. Do you want to receive this blessing next week? So next week you have to come in faith, because he will lay his hands from the temple. He will lay his hands and pass this blessing to us. But we are going to do something nice. This thing that we are doing here is very powerful. The power of agreement. Next week we are going to continue this. I'm going to give you the same paper afterwards. I'm going to ask the assistants to give you. But you are going to do something. You are going to look for someone who is suffering outside, so that they can come here with you next week, one person, so that when we make the prayer of agreement, that person will be your prayer partner. Do you understand? I know it's easier to find the prayer partner in the church already, because the person is here, the person is strong, nice, in the same faith, very good. But there are many people outside, they need help. And Jesus said like this, it is not the healthy that needs a doctor. Who needs the doctor? Who needs a doctor? Huh? People who are sick. And outside, there are many people who are sick. I'm talking about not only physically, but in their life. So, it is our task to save those people. I was telling the people this morning that one of the greatest evil in this world nowadays is something that we call the spirit of selfishness. Do you know what selfishness is? What is selfishness? Yes, it's an evil. I have even to say this is an evil spirit that makes people only think about themselves. And nowadays, this is what we see. Nowadays, there are people, they don't even care about other people. Look at this. Financially speaking, how many people deceive other people? How many people, they deceive others just for them to gain something? They deceive, they don't care. They know that person will suffer. They know that. They know. There are many scams nowadays, right? Internet scam, those people that introduce themselves like they are doctors, they are general, they are, I don't know who they are. They introduce themselves to you. They send emails, they send messages in your Facebook, for example, and they say like this, I love you. I'm single. Are you single? So I want to have this deal with you, and you know what I'm talking about, right? And they deceive many Many people, they work so hard to earn what they have right now in their savings, and they send to those scammers. Those people, those scammers, they know that their victims are going to suffer. They know that, but they don't care. Do you know why? They only think about their own interest. In the church, unfortunately, we see people deceiving other people. Unfortunately. Even inside the church, this is obvious. And this is the reason why, let me take this opportunity to tell you, if you see anyone in the church having this crazy spirit, this, deceiving spirit, you have to report this person to the pastor. Is it clear? When you see someone in the church that is trying to make this, business, this, crazy, you speak to the pastor. Report this person to the pastor. We don't accept, we don't tolerate this thing here. In this place, there is no such thing. In this place, there is no such thing. Understood? But why people are like this? Because they are possessed. Possessed by a spirit of selfishness. And a true servant of God, they are not selfish. Do you want to know? Do you want to identify a servant of God? Look at their character. A servant of God, they feel, let me use this strange word, they feel the pain of others. When they see someone in pain, in suffering, they want to save that person. Some of you, I don't even know you. But God knows you because you always bring people to church. God knows you because even though you don't have any title, you are not an assistant, a collaborator, you are not having any position. Let us say like this, And yet, you are always there, evangelizing, bringing people. You always find a way to spread, the word of salvation to other people. And you know why? You know what? God can see that you are a real servant of God. Because to be a real servant of God has nothing to do with your position. But if you say, I am a Christian, but you don't care about other people's salvation, you have to question your Christianity. Because I don't really believe you are a true Christian because of this spirit. A real servant of God, they have this passion to save others. Just like yesterday, I was telling the people today, yesterday was a blessing for me, even more. Yesterday, I visited a couple, a Chinese couple, to receive a prayer, right? And it's so amazing. I'm not going to go to details anymore, but they accepted everything I say. You can see, when you talk to someone, you can see if they are paying attention or not, right? So as I was talking to them about my testimony, about what God wants for them, about healing and faith, I was explaining, my friend, the person accepts. The heart of the person is open. And the person, it's amazing. Why? Why is it that the heart of the person is open? I was talking to them, and they listen to everything I say. Why? Because one member, look at this, one member, one helper even, who is living in the same building, the same complex, because it's like this, the wife has a problem, like she forgets many things, She forgets many things. So we are praying for her healing, and she is healed in Jesus' name. Amen? This week something will happen that will show to them that God is real. Amen? But the wife used to have this problem, cannot remember many things. But every time she would see the member, she would remember her. Look how strange this is. She forgets many things, but she would feel nice when she would see the member. Why? Because he said that every time she would come, there is that joy. There is that light. So when she is very simple. She would come and she's always there. So I was talking to her about, to them, about faith and everything. And then he said, yes, you are talking about faith, right? Yeah, let me. And then he took a book from his shelf, from his table. And guess what book it is? It's the book of Bishop Macedo. The book about the supernatural power of faith. That book that we have. And I was wondering, how did he get this? He was reading it already. He said, I'm already like 1/3 of the book. And I was wondering, how did he get? I said, this book, she gave it to us. Look at this. So this person, to be honest with you, I don't know the name. In fact, many of the members, I don't know your name. I know your face. I cannot really keep names, right? I know your face. I will not call you Face, right? Hello, Face. How are you, Face? But, I know the face. But I tell you, the pastor don't know this person. Huh? But God can see this person is my servant. Look at this. They are saving souls without the knowledge of the pastor. My friend. I am sure God will honor this person. If the person never change, if the person remains humble like this, God will honor. But this is just to show you the power of this Spirit. So let us bring people to church. Next week, I want you to bring not 2, 1. How many? 1. Just 1. Someone that you know is suffering. Someone who have many debts. Someone who is sick. Bring 1 in the presence of God. Allow God to use you to help that person. Somebody brought you here, my friend. Don't forget this. Most of us came because somebody brought us here. Yes or no? I was brought by our neighbor. Who was brought here? Who was invited here? Let me see. Look at this. Who came because of a flyer? You find the flyer. Very few. See, you came because you find flyer. But who came because someone brought you, invited you to come? Look at this. More people. Why? Because it's like this. So never lose this desire to save souls. Next week, look at what we're going to do. I'm going to ask the assistants to give you a paper, but you will choose. I'm not going to judge you. If you say, Pastor, can I have just 1 for me? And then on Sunday, I will just find somebody. No problem. This is your decision. This is your faith. I have nothing against you. No problem. But I advise you to try looking at other people. Because when you start being concerned about other people, that's when God blesses you even more. Is that clear? You don't have to be a member of the evangelism group to evangelize. You don't have to be an assistant before assisting someone. No. Be a servant of God. Without title, be a servant of God. God can see you. Amen? You know very well that following Jesus, following God, you cannot just do whatever you want. Jesus said that when we decide to follow Him, we have to deny ourselves. What is to deny ourselves? It's to do what God is telling us to do, even though it is against our desire. Now, there are many commandments of God. I'm going to talk about just one today. In fact, I'm going to talk about the very, very first commandment of God. Let me see if you remember the first commandment of God. I want to test your memory right now. Let us see. What is the first commandment of God? Tell me. Tell me, my friend. Tell me, what is the first commandment of God? Yeah. Let us mark this in the Bible for you not to forget, okay? Take your Bible, open it in the book of Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. This is the very first commandment among 10 commandments, right? Let us see there. I am sure you heard about this, right? I mean, all of us know this, so you know. Exodus chapter what? 20, please. Did you find it, my friends? It's easy to find, right? Genesis, Exodus. So, second book. Old Testament. Ready? Okay. Let us read from the verse 1. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Now, this is the first commandment. Number 3, verse 3. You shall have no other gods before me. Okay, look at me. The very, very first commandment of God is this. You cannot have other God. There is just one. You cannot have other God. He even specified, he even, emphasized something here. Not just, you shall not have any other God. He spoke something for us not to have any doubts, okay? Not to leave any room for doubts. He said, so you shall have no other gods before me. Verse 4. You shall not make for yourself a carved image. You shall not make for yourself what? An image. Images. Any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. Okay? So you cannot have any images of any beings, any beings in heaven. What are the beings in heaven? What are the beings in heaven? Not a star. A star is not a being. A star is my goodness. What? But let's go. It's good. You answer. Let's go. What are beings in heaven? Angels. Angels. Pastor, what's the name of my guardian angel? I don't know. Don't ask me because I do not know. But angels. Angels. So there are people, they believe in angels. I mean, they believe in a sense that they have those, images of angels, right? Anything above there. God says you cannot make. You cannot have any image of these things in heaven, right? Any likeness of anything that is in heaven. Or that is in the earth beneath. What is those things that are in the earth beneath? And please don't tell me worms. Also worms, I don't believe you have worms there as an image. What are these images that are earth beneath? Dwarfs. Ayan, laman lupa, right? Okay, I understood. I catch that. Yeah, good. Dwarfs. In the Philippines, we believe that dwarfs live under the land. So that's what they said. Yeah, dwarf. No, not only this. Not only this. There are people who believe, they believe in dwarfs. Pastor, not all dwarfs are bad. They are white dwarf. My friend, it doesn't matter of the color. It can be a rainbow, rainbow dwarf. You cannot have those images. And even more, when it says there, earth beneath, it talks about as well, demonic things. You know very well how our world, idolizes satanic things. It's amazing. I want you to think with me now. Stop reading your Bible and look at me. This is amazing. In schools, if you are young, if you are a youth, it's so amazing. I know you can agree with this. In school, many students, they like to say there is no God, there is no God, there is no God. But they don't even mention there is no devil. They like to prove there is no God, but when it comes to devil, yeah. It is amazing. I don't know, have you noticed this? I don't believe in God. They don't believe in God, but when it comes to evil, evil, it's true. It doesn't make sense. But nowadays, people worship the devil and the things of the devil. I was telling the people this morning about, for example, music. Music. Many of the youth nowadays are being taken by the devil because of music. Many of those bands, right? Many of those bands, they are satanic bands. Satanic. Have you seen some videos, they put, right? Have you seen some videos they put, those music videos? It's so satanic, so sexual. Wrecking ball. But my friend, and there are so many sexual things there, right? I I tell you. And the youth is there imitating. Yeah, yeah. They like to copy these things. Heavy metal, you know. Those people who do like this with the hair, you know. Yeah. And the songs are very loud. You cannot even understand what they're saying. And people are there. Yeah, you know. And if I have to confess something to you, if I'm being honest to you now, let me confess. Before, I used to like these songs as well. Because my uncle, he's a very big influence for me, right? Oh my goodness. You know, he introduced me to these songs. And I used to like them. And believe it or not, my hair used to be long before. Yeah? Until here. I tell you. One day I show you my old pictures. So I could do like this. Yeah. And I used to listen to songs, right? You know, I like those bands, right? But my goodness, even though the words are terrible, but I just like those bands. You know, there's the song I remember this morning. What was it? Tao sa pangil ng buhay. And I was there. Ang halik ni Judas. You know, my goodness. Nowadays, when I start remembering this, I said, my Lord, what have I done? But nowadays, ask my wife if I listen to these songs. I hate those songs. Not because of the church. It's just painful. It's not even, I know, it's not even, it doesn't even, it cannot be called music. It's not it's noise. Pure noise. Noise. Can you understand? Nowadays, I hate. You know, now I love those classic songs. Became very, because also there's no more hair to do like this. God changed everything. You see, God changed everything. That's what happens. But I like those classic songs. Now, very soft. You know, there's message. The songs of the past is even better than the songs now. The songs now are terrible. There's no message at all. And the youth is there. Yes, yeah. There are signs. Yes or no? They have signs. Third eye. They have many things. Many things. Rituals. Rituals they do. Those are idols. They are people. They are youth. Pay attention. If you are here and you are young, and those who are watching as well, pay attention. You like wearing those you know, star, you know. Everything like this is from the devil. It is from the devil. And God says here, you cannot have anything that is in the earth beneath. You cannot have. It's not just the idols of angels. The idols of the devil as well is the same thing. Do you understand? Yes. You cannot have. And even more there. Not only earth beneath. What else? Or that is in the water under the earth. What is this water under the earth? For example, here in China, I know that there are some, actually many people, they like to have those, you know, dragons there. Yes or no? And then fish. You know, some of them, they are taking care of fish because it's good luck. Right? Some of them, they have frogs. Yes or no? Have you seen those frogs? The one with something in the mouth. Have you seen these things? And you know, under water, under the earth. Huh? So these things as well. No, Pastor, this is luck, nothing. We don't believe. A true servant of God don't believe in these things. Because it says there, verse 5. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. Look at this. God sees it this way. When you bow down before them, when you say, no, Pastor, no, I don't worship them. I just, you know, respect. You respect. When you do this, you show that you hate God. For God, you hate Him. That's how God sees it. Pastor, I don't understand. He says He's a jealous God. jealousy is evil, right? No, not in this way. Because think with me. Think with me. Who is the only God who would send His Son to die for us? Only God the Father. He is the only one. Did those frogs die for you? Those frogs, did they die for you? The angels, did they die for you? Those satanic rituals, did they die? No. The only one who died for us is God. He is the only one who sacrificed Himself to save us. And now, instead of following Him, you divide your heart with these gods. No, Pastor. I love God as well. But also, I respect this God. No. If you do this, in the eyes of God, in His heart, you are not serving Him. You hate Him, He said there. It's either you have one God or you have nothing. For Him, it's like this. It's Him or nothing. It's like marriage. It's either you get married to Him or nothing. Can you imagine? You who are married. Who is married here? You are married to someone that has many boyfriends, many girlfriends. Can you imagine this? Are you going to accept this? This is terrible. It's either you or them. You or them. This jealousy is good. Why? Because it shows, sacredness, holiness in your relationship. So, to God, even more, He doesn't want your heart to be divided with these gods. But Pastor, what should I do now? What should I do? I have this image now. What should I do? Should I bring it to the church? Can I give you? No. Why would you give me? I don't want it. What would you do? I will tell you what I did. Amen? What did I do? As you all know, or maybe some of you don't, but now you will know. Before, I used to be very religious as well. Yes, I was Catholic before. I used to be even serving, there. During the Mass, I was one of those altar guys, altar boys, wearing those white thing there, right? During the communion, I am the one holding those, big spoon. I don't know how you call it. Those metal spoon thing. So that was me. I was very religious before. My family was religious, really. But then, when I discovered this truth, you know what I did? I decided to change my life. I decided not to have any idols. But these images. I decided. I used to have rosary because it's one of our tasks to pray the rosary every day. So what did I do? Nobody else, not the pastor, no one, me. I destroyed what I have. Those that I own, of course. I destroyed I burned, actually, I remember. I burned my rosary. I took my image and broke them. The pictures I burned them. Pastor, you cannot do that. You are going to be cursed. Look at me. Do I look cursed to you? The opposite even happened. I am more blessed than before. Why? Because I decided not to have any other God besides my God. Now, I have my God. But Pastor, no, you should respect. It's good. It's holy. 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 It's wood. It's stone. There is nothing holy there. So I decided to destroy it. And this is an advice I give to you if you decide to do the same. Don't come to church bringing the pastor. Can you please break this for me? Because I'm afraid if I break, it's gonna attack me. My goodness. If you think like this, it's better for you not to destroy it because you still have that respect. It's not about breaking it. It's about respect. If you still respect those things, forget. Whatever I'm telling you now, it's not for you. Don't do it. You have to decide. It's very sad that there are some people, they have this division in their heart. And God doesn't like this. I'm not saying now that you go home, okay? As you finish the service, now you go home like, like Hook, right? Very angry, and then you start breaking everything there in your house. It's not even your house. It's the house of your employer. Satan, get out! Get out here! And you break the... You see what happened? You see what happened? You're gonna be terminated, my friend. You're gonna get out as well. I'm not saying for you to start breaking everything you see. I'm talking about the one that you own. Yours. Do you understand? I'm not saying for you to go to your family and then start... No. You have to do it for you. You. The one that you own. You do it. If you decide. But one thing is sure. God does not want any of us to have any idol. There must be no other God before Him. Now, pay attention to this. This is one way of seeing this message. When we talk about idolatry, the first thing that comes to our mind is this, about images and so forth. But to be honest with you, there are many people who do not have images anymore. Pastor, I don't have image anymore. Amen. Congratulations. But sometimes, my friends, there are people who doesn't have physical images, but they are still doing what God hates. Idolatry. They are still practicing idolatry. Pastor, I don't understand. You said that if we destroy, you said that if we give up those images, then there's no more idolatry. But idolatry is not about images only. You have to understand this. In fact, I need you to read something together with me. It's written in the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel, chapter 14. Look at this there. If you don't have the Bible, you will read together with us there in the screen. Ezekiel, chapter 14. Look at this. It says there, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols where? In their hearts, and put before them that which causes them to stumble into iniquity. Should I let myself be inquired of by them? Verse 4. Therefore, speak to them and say to them, Thus says the Lord God, every one of the house of Israel who sets up his idols in his heart and puts before him what causes him to stumble into iniquity, and then comes to the prophet, I, the Lord, will answer him who comes according to the multitude of his idols. Now, look at me and pay attention. This is very, very deep and very powerful. God is no longer talking about the material idol, like the one I just mentioned earlier. He is talking about the idol of the heart. Because He knows that there are people that inside their heart, they have an idol. Pastor, what is this? What is idol? For us to understand this, we have to understand what is idolatry in the first place. What does it mean, idolatry? Idolatry is when you put someone or something in the place of God. Did you get this? If there is anything or anyone in the place of God, in your heart, that is idolatry. And when you understand this, you can start thinking about many things. How many people, their family, for example, is the most important thing in their life. More than God, more than their faith. Their family. There are people who leave the presence of God because of their family. They love their family so much that they exchange their salvation for their family. There is this very, very sad story, a very sad example I'm going to share with you right now, but it shows how the heart of some people are. For example, in the Philippines, I remember there was a person there, a lady there, who was very useful who was very active. I know her because she evangelized in my group. She's one of my, helper. Let's say like this, right? She evangelized in my area. So I know her very well. But here's the thing. She's the only one who comes to church. Sometimes, yes, the husband comes as well. Sometimes the children comes as well. They have a business. They have a business there. They have a car and all of these things. So she comes alone more often. But she was very helpful. But look what happened. Her husband, the reason why her husband doesn't want to come to church is somehow the husband hates the church. The husband hates us. I do not know why. But the husband hates us. So many times she would tell the husband to, oh, no, come to church with me, come to church. And he doesn't want. He doesn't want. He hates the church. Look what happened. One day, there was a situation. I'm not going into detail. But there was a situation that the husband sued the church. You know this word? The husband sued the church. In other words, the husband put the church, file a case against the church. Why, Pastor? Well, like I said, I will not go into detail, but it is so absurd. It is so crazy. I tell you, the guy is lost. Lost. He was fighting against the church. I don't know why. There was something that he wants to prove, a point. I don't know why. He sued the church. And then, he came to his wife and said like this, listen, I hate your church, eh? So listen here. Now you choose. Now you choose. You choose either you are in the side of your pastor, your church, or in your family. Wow, what a choice, right? The side of your pastor, there your church, or your family here. They have a son that they invest so much. Usually in the Philippines it's like this. The eldest receive the more investment. Usually it's like this. So there's this person that they invest a lot, the son. And she loves her family, especially that boy. She loves. So one day, even though she said she didn't want, she went to the leader of the church and she said like this, I'm sorry. I know that my husband is wrong. I know that what he is doing is injustice. It's really unjust, unfair, what he is doing. But I cannot leave my family. This is her words. Look at these words. She said like this, because I love my family so much. This is her word. This is a quote, okay, from her. This came from her mouth. I love my family so much. Now, what can we do? What can we do? Can we say, no, that's your choice. Go ahead. We have confidence because the case that he filed is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So what happened? To make things short, they lost the case, obviously. Right? They lost the case. Not only this, before they lost the case, look, I'm not saying this with pride. I'm saying this with pain. I am saying this with pain because you see how people lose because of, stupidity. I'm sorry, but this is the word. Few months after that, her son, the one that she loved so much, died. Suddenly, he became sick of something. He died. He was very strong. He died. The business that they have, they start losing. They have to sell the car. They lost. They lost. The shop that they have closed. They lost. That's what happened. That's what happened when you try to fight against God. It's not the church. Some people, they can't understand this. It doesn't come inside their head. She lost. She made the wrong choice. She lost. Am I saying this for you to be in the church? No, I'm not saying this for you to be with us. No, I'm saying this to give you an example of how the idol works. For some people, like in her case, the idol is what? Tell me. The family. The family. The words of the family is stronger. Because if I was in her case, I would tell my husband, if I was her, I'm going to tell, listen, you are going against the church. You know that what you are doing is ridiculous. Do you want to file a case? You know that it's ridiculous. You know that. Or you don't know. You know it's ridiculous. So, if you want to go ahead. I'm not going to be with you. I am not going to be in this together with you in this ridiculous case because we are going to lose. Ridiculous. But no. According to her, I love my family so much. Is it? Is it? Okay. So there you go. Jesus said, whoever loves his father or mother or daughter or son more than me, he's not worthy of me. Look at this. Pastor, are you saying for me to hate my family? Nope. I am saying you can love your family. We should love our family. The Bible says, whoever disowns his family, whoever doesn't care for his family is worse than unbeliever. So, we should care for our family. But, they are not the first in our heart. They are not. If you love your family so much to the point that you are willing to leave the church because of them, I give you a warning right now. Watch out. Watch out. Pastor, but I love them. You see, I heard this before. I heard. There was a situation I heard here in the church here. A person said like this, but now the church is very far, Pastor, very far, So I cannot go to the church anymore there because it's very far. So you know what? I'm going to go back to my old church. I'm going back to the Catholic church again, because the church is so... And also, if I go back to my country, the church is not yet there. There's no UCKG there yet. So, I'm going to end up in the same church. This is how they think. I'm going to end up in the same church. This is how they think. Let me tell you something right now. Me, Pastor Christian. If in case I go to the Philippines and I have to stay there for 1 month, okay, pay attention. If I have to stay for 1 month, for example, in the province of my wife, there is no church. In my province, there is no church. There is no church yet, because there will be in Jesus' name. But right now, there is no church. If I have to stay there for 1 month, and then there, of course, there are other churches there. I tell you, and then it's Sunday. It's me. This is me, Pastor Christian. I decide to stay at home, read the Bible, instead of going to other church. This is me. Why? Because I don't want my faith to be contaminated with, to be mixed up with other things. I don't accept that. I don't accept it. So I prefer to be in the house there, reading my Bible, or go to YouTube, watch the video of the church, rather than attending another church. This is how radical I am when it comes to faith. When it comes to faith, my friend, when it comes to faith, don't play with me. But there are some people, they are not like this. Like this person who said, I'm going to end up in the Catholic Church anyway. So, There are people that their hearts are divided. There are idols in their hearts. There are people that the idol is the job. How many members we have? We lost them because of a job. They receive a opportunity to work and the salary is a bit higher, right? But now they will go to a country without church. No problem. I'm going to go. God knows my heart. Exactly. God knows your heart. And how do you know someone's heart? Through their action. Through their action. So some people live, their communion with God for an additional $1,000. That's the price. The price of their faith is $1,000. My friend, now you tell me this is not an idol. Now you tell me this is not idolatry. Idolatry is so much deeper than just pure images. Idolatry is also this. Some single people, their idol is their, partner, right? Their partner. That is their idol. Whatever the thing tells them to do, they do. Hmm? There are people, especially the single ones, they leave the presence of God because of this relationship. Like that woman I was mentioning last night in our program, right? I was mentioning about that woman who used to be an evangelism as well, in the Philippines as well. Very strong. But then one day, she met someone, single man, a gentle man. And then, the guy also has a business. The guy is like a Christian. Like a Christian. I don't understand this, like a Christian. It's either a Christian or not a Christian. It's like chicken. Right? It's either you eat chicken or there are some people that say, Pastor, did you eat frog? What does it taste? It tastes like chicken. So eat chicken. It's the same thing. But these people, they like to play with words. So, like a Christian, he is. And then she came excited to the pastor. Pastor, I want to tell you a blessing from God. Blessing. Now tell me, I met this man. He's like a Christian, What do you think? What do you think? We cannot give you an advice. This is your life. But since you came, so let me tell you, be careful. You cannot mix your faith with anyone. If you get married with someone that has a different faith, there will be a consequence, a big consequence. No, Pastor, no. He said that even if we get married, I can go to church. He promised that. And for you who are single, pay attention to this lesson right now. When a person likes you, when a man, especially men, when a man likes you, single ladies. Who is a single lady here? All right. When a man likes you, he is going to promise you everything. He's going to tell you, you can go to church. He's going to tell you, my friend, he's going to tell you, I'm going to the moon. Huh? I'm going to fly me to the moon. Yes or no? I'm going to fly you to the moon. I'm going to go to the sun. Take some sunspots and bring it back to earth. He's going to tell you everything. He's going to say, I'm Batman. He's going to say he's Batman. He's going to say everything. Just for you to say, yes. But listen, once you say, yes, see what happens. So this person says like, no, he promised. Okay. She continued listening to her heart, the idol of her heart. What happened? As soon as they get married, gone. When we see her sometimes, her face is down of shame. She is ashamed because we still pass in that shop now because they have a business now, right? So we pass by there. She is down like this. She feels shy because she cannot come to church anymore. There you go. That's the price. That's the price of idolatry. There you go. So this message here tonight, today, this morning, is to wake you up, my friend, for you to examine your heart. What is the most important one, someone in your heart? If your family is more important, you're in trouble. If your work is more important, you are in trouble. Do not think that just because you came to the church, do not think that because you are here right now, you are saved, because that is not true. Salvation doesn't come when you enter the church. This is not an automatic thing. Salvation comes when your heart belongs to God. Your heart must belong to God. So much that whatever happened, you are willing to, turn your back from everyone and continue following God. Some of you cannot leave your old friends behind for some reason. You know that some of your old friends, they are bad influence for you. You know that. But you always try to fit in. You try to fit in. We told you many times, be careful. But you try to fit in. No, Pastor, I will save them. Save them. Right. It is easier for them to pull you down than for you to lift them up. This is the truth. It's a law of physics. Yes or no? It's easy to put something down than to lift them up. It's a rule. Don't deceive yourself, my friend. Many times you heard us saying, if you have friends that are bad influence in school, where you live, in that apartment, in that block, if there are people there that are bad for you, cut off friendship with them. You don't need those friends. But Pastor, they're my friends. Yeah, right, friends. When it comes to salvation, my friends, we have to be radical. We have to do what the Holy Spirit is saying. So, I'm going to make a prayer now because what I see here happening is this. Those who are humble among you, pay attention. Those who are humble among you, you can already recognize that there is an idol in your heart. While I am preaching here, I can see some of you thinking, because you can see that there is someone more important to God. No, Pastor, God is number one. That's the problem. God cannot be number one. God must be all. God cannot be number one or number two. He must be all. Everything. Everything. How about my family? Love them. Love them. Care for them. But when it comes to your faith, nobody touch my faith. So, I'm going to make a prayer, and you will make your prayer. You are going to break these idols of your heart. Amen? Maybe the idol in your heart is pride. You are very proud. You don't like people, knowing more than you. You don't accept your mistake. You think you are someone. You think you are someone just because you know more, just because you studied more, just because, I don't know, you are resident here, just because, I don't know, just because of something, you put yourself above everyone. You listen to me, you minions. Yeah, keep yourself like this. Keep yourself thinking this way. My friend, we are nothing. We are nothing. Status is nothing. But I am a evangelism member. I'm an assistant. I'm a pastor. So what? What? So what? But Pastor, I can speak 3 languages. So when you die, right, you go to heaven and you say, you have to let me enter. Why? I can speak 3 languages. Ni hao ma. And do you think the angel will let you in because you say ni hao ma? Anatawa. Do you think the angel will let you in because you say anatawa? My friends, some people, because they know more, they think they are superior to everyone. Yeah, that's your idol. That's your idol. So right now, we are going to give it up. We are going to humble ourselves. Amen? If you want to be saved, if you want to make this prayer, so pray with me. All right, put your Bible there in your seat. Stand up, please. Give you the same paper afterwards. I'm going to ask the assistants to give you. But you are going to do something. You are going to look for someone who is suffering outside so that they can come here with you next week. One person. One. So that when we make the prayer of agreement, that person will be your prayer partner. Do you understand? I know it's easier to find the prayer partner in the church already because the person is here, the person is strong, nice, in the same faith, very good. But there are many people outside, they need help. And Jesus said like this, it is not the healthy that needs a doctor. Who needs the doctor? Who needs a doctor? Huh? People who are sick. And outside, there are many people who are sick. I'm talking about not only physically, but in their life. So, it is our task to save those people. I was telling the people this morning that one of the greatest evil in this world nowadays is something that we call the spirit of selfishness. Do you know, I love you. I'm single. Are you single? So I want to have this deal with you, you know. And you know what I'm talking about, right? And they deceive many people. They work so hard to earn what they have right now in their savings. And they send to those scammers. Those people, those scammers, they know that their victims are going to suffer. They know that. But they don't care. Do you know why? They only think about their own interest. In the church, unfortunately, we see people deceiving other people. Unfortunately. Even inside the church, this is obvious. And this is the reason why, let me take this opportunity to tell you, if you see anyone in the church having this crazy spirit, this, deceiving spirit, you have to report this person to the pastor. Is it clear? When you see someone in the church that is trying to make this, business, this, crazy. Last night, because the time is really, different in Brazil. So last night, there was this live prayer. I even posted in our Facebook. I hope you watched. But all the bishops, all the pastors, they agreed in one faith to bless us. If you sent your prayer request, if you know you did your part, you sacrifice something that God told you to do, and you write a request that will change your life, your blessing is coming. Yeah. Do you believe this? Yeah. Amen. That's it. Now, look at what he did. Because Bishop Macedo called the pastors of the country to climb the altar and to pray there. He did more than this. Pastor Alvaro said to us last week that he would place his hands on the altar to bless us. Now, he made a video, and he wants you to see this video. Amen? Is it ready there, assistant? Let us show them.
Hello everybody from Asia. I'm here with Pastor Anderson, Pastor Alex, and also Pastor Eduardo. We are in front of Solomon's temple. We have just finished our prayer. We were together on the altar of the temple, where we laid our hands on the floor of the altar, and we determined that your life will never be the same again. And when we come back, we are going to be laying both of our hands on the top of your head to determine that not only your family, but also your love life, your finances, all the areas of your life may be blessed. So be sure, all of you who are now in Malaysia, also those who are in Singapore and India, also in Macau, Indonesia, also in Philippines, in all the countries in Asia, we are coming back to bless all of you. Stay in faith. God bless you.
Amen. Do you want to receive this blessing next week? So next week you have to come in faith, because he will lay his hands from the temple. He will lay his hands and pass this blessing to us. But we are going to do something nice. This thing that we are doing here is very powerful. The power of agreement. Next week we are going to continue this. I'm going to give you what selfishness is. What is selfishness? Yes, it's an evil. I have even to say, this is an evil spirit that makes people only think about themselves. And nowadays, this is what we see. Nowadays, there are people, they don't even care about other people. Look at this. Financially speaking, how many people deceive other people? How many people, they deceive others just for them to gain something? They deceive. They don't care. They know that person will suffer. They know that. They know. There are many scams nowadays, right? internet scam, those people that introduce themselves like they are doctors, they are general, they are, I don't know who they are. They introduce themselves to you. They send emails. They send messages in your Facebook, for example. And they say like this,